Hello, boys and girls. I'm back with the case of the kidnapped candy, chapter 9. And I wasn't sure if I told you when we started this. This actually has 12 chapters. So we have next week, the week of May 11th, which we'll do chapter 9. Then the week of May 18th, chapter 10. And then the last week of school, I cannot believe it, the week of May 25th, I'll have to do two chapters, chapter 11 and 12, so that we come to the conclusion or the end of the story. This chapter is entitled Chapter 9. And as you may remember, in chapter 8, one of the kids' parents had come in to do a poetry concert for the kids. This chapter is entitled Irresistible. And I don't know if you know what that word means. Kind of just think to yourself, if something is irresistible. If you said to yourself, or thought, or actually said out loud, or thought to yourself, something is irresistible, it's hard to resist. Like I see, for me, like if I see chocolate cake on the counter and someone says, you can't have any of that, that's kind of irresistible because I love chocolate cake. So we're always learning new vocabulary words, about 17 to 20 new words a day. It's hard to believe. So I'm going to begin reading. Before I begin reading, I do want to remind those students who are in my class that you will need to answer the following questions. How many Hershey Kisses did Joey admit that he ate? And the second and last question is, why was Jigsaw surprised by the fact that Mike Radcliffe was eating a chocolate bar? So as I'm reading, keep in mind that you may pause the video at any time, especially if you have to run to the restroom or something, or if you want to say, hey, I just heard the answer to that question that Mrs. Hostetter asked. So without further ado, and I know I say that every time, without waiting any longer, I will begin reading chapter 9. I cornered Joey on the playground. He was dribbling a big rubber ball. Where's the candy? I asked, before he could say anything. The ball dribbled away. Joey froze. He stared at me with his mouth wide open. Nothing strange about that. Joey's mouth is always wide open. Of course, it's usually full of food. I knew I'd find the candy thief. Lucy told me everything. Joey shrugged. Great. Then you know I just took one piece. Lucy and I agreed to keep it a secret. But I know you'd believe us. But I knew you'd believe us. Just one piece? I repeated. I had a funny feeling in my stomach. And it wasn't because I'd swallowed a whoopee cushion. Joey was my friend. But I didn't believe him. That funny feeling was doubt. After all, someone had to have taken the candy, and all signs pointed to Joey. Here's the picture for this page. Joey eats when he's nervous. He eats when he's happy. He eats when he's upset. And when he's tired. And when he's bored. And whenever you put food in front of him. Wait, it sure sounds like Joey likes to eat. This time he had been alone in a room with a chocolate-filled gumball machine. Could he really have just walked away? Okay, so you took just one piece, I said. How did you know it was there? Oh, I didn't look under the sheet, he said quickly. Mrs. Gleason told us not to. Remember? I nodded. I remembered. It was starting to seem like I was the only one who did. I overheard Eddie telling a couple guys about it, Joey said. Eddie? I repeated. Yeah, Joey said. He threw his arms out to his sides. I just couldn't resist. I stuck my hand under the sheet and turned the lever. One kiss popped out. That's all I took. Honest. And I hopefully that you're noticing that, and this is something that's really important as you progress in school, that when characters are speaking, you should be trying to change your voice. And know when that sentence ends with a question mark that you have to read it the right way. Just one? I asked. Well, and you probably know there's three little dots at the end there after the word well, and you should remember what those three little dots are called that cause you to hesitate or pause. Think to yourself, what are they? Hopefully you remembered from class they're called an ellipsis. Boy, we're learning so much, and I can't believe you're only in kindergarten. You're really going to impress your first grade teacher. She's going to say, looking good. I'll go back to reading, sorry. Well, Joey rubbed the back of his neck. 2, okay, 3, but that's it. Really? But before I could ask anything else, Mila came up behind us. She slipped me a note. It was in code. So when something's in code, it's kind of hard to read. I'll read it what it says. And I'm telling you right now in advance, because I've read this chapter, you are going to have no idea what this says. Mick, add, plea, ease, eat, in, act, Ola, T, B, R, and you're like, what? But when you see these letters and you begin to know that obviously letters form words, and you'll see, I'll show you the spacing here. And maybe some of my more advanced kids can figure out that code. I'll tell you what it means. Right away, I figured out that she was using a space code. I just had to push some of the letters together and move some of them farther apart. It only took me a couple minutes to solve the code. Mike Radcliffe is eating a chocolate bar. And now I'll put it back up there, and maybe some of you might be able to see how they decoded that. And they smushed letters together. Mike Radcliffe is eating a chocolate bar. Is it true? I asked Mila. Is what true? Joey asked. Mila just nodded and pointed toward the jungle gym. There was Mike, stuffing his face, hanging out with Eddie Becker and Bobby Solosky. Now, as good readers, we should know that we need to ask ourselves questions as we read. That helps us ensure comprehension of the story. You're really working on your fluency. Are you decoding or sounding out the words the right way? But we have to push or move past that and now really focus on, do we understand what we read? And as a reader, we should always be asking ourselves questions, not necessarily out loud, but definitely in our head. I'm going to model the type of question that I'm asking myself right now. Why is Mila and Joey making such a big deal that Mike Radcliffe was eating a chocolate bar? I don't know about you, but lots of kids eat chocolate bars. It's kind of weird. So here she is. Here's Mila handing Jigsaw the little code. I thought fast. Mike told me that he didn't like chocolate. Bobby backed him up. When somebody backs you up, they just kind of agree that, yes, that is true. I've heard that. Here was proof that they were both lying. And I had been so sure that Joey was the real thief. No wonder nothing added up about this case. Seemed like everyone in room 201 had forgotten how to tell the truth. And that's one of the things that hopefully I've instilled in your little hearts and minds as kindergarten teachers. That despite the fact that you may get in trouble over things that you do, the best advice I can give is always, always tell the truth. That's what parents love, that's what teachers love, and that's what you should love doing for yourself. Because if you fib or you lie about something, you will experience guilt and it will make you sad and your heart will hurt. Let's go, I told Mila. They've got some explaining to do. Now, as a reminder, those of you in my class and anyone who would like to do it, who is watching this video across the nation because it is available on YouTube, you may answer these questions. Number 1, how many Hershey Kisses did Joey admit that he ate? Now be very careful about that question. We want to know what was the final number of Hershey Kisses that he admitted to eating. Number 3, why was Jigsaw surprised by the fact that Mike Radcliffe was eating a chocolate bar? Hey guys, I love you and I hope you enjoyed chapter 9 of the case of the kidnapped candy. I'm going to give you a big hug. And that's for me because I love you. Make sure you pull a star out of the sky, put it in your heart because that is how special you are. I hope you enjoy your day and we'll see you again next time. Take care. Bye bye.